Witnesses say they realized something was wrong when somebody actually stepped on the boy under the water. That's when everybody started rushing out of the water to try to help him. And the storm sure did a number on this tree right in front of the Lane post office. You can see how it pulled it out right by the roots. Just on Wednesday, deputies say they found a stolen motorcycle from Fannin County at this house on Pilot Grove Road in Grayson County. They said that the VIN plate had been removed and the serial number was scratched off. You can see that the garage with the cars in it was also destroyed and pieces were pushed into the field next door. And the storm sure did a number on this tree right in front of the Lane post office. You can see how it pulled it out right by the roots. Even after the sale goes through, it could take years before anything significant is done at the site. That's because the developer says the real estate market has slowed down and they're not in a big rush to start building right away.
Denison resident Mary Omenson says she got a startling phone call from her son in Colorado at about 1:50 in the morning.
And said that he had gone to see the Batman premiere, you know, the movie, and that there had been a shooting. A man he was sitting by the exit door. A man had kicked the door open and come in and thrown some tear gas on up in the air and then just started shooting.
Her 20-year-old son Bear and his friends dove to the ground, but he soon realized that one of them had been hit.
Amundsen says her son told her that when the gunman passed by again, he'd lay over his friend so that he wouldn't be hurt anymore.
He said he pulled his friend down to the ground, and then when they saw the man was coming back, he laid on top of him just to give him some kind of shield, and then when the man walked off, they tried to get the injured man out, but they couldn't barely move him.
Bear told his mother about the shock of waiting on the ground as the shooter came back again.
The guy came back down the aisle, he said, shooting some more, and then went out into the back, and he understood that he had been arrested at that point. The police had been there, and then they all slowly, the ones that weren't screaming and yelling, slowly evacuated.
Omenson says that after hearing her son's friend sitting in the seat right next to him died, she's very grateful that he's safe.
My son was very upset, and I'm just glad he's very lucky that he wasn't hurt. He must have had an angel on his shoulder, that's all I can say.
In Sherman, I'm Alex Belser reporting. Shannon Giles surveys what's left of the house, destroyed just as her husband's parents were sitting down to dinner.
My father-in-law was out on the front porch, and he saw the wind rotating, and he tried to get inside. By that time, the house had started to lift and fall.
He went inside the house, which was now moving, as his wife, daughter, her husband, and 2 young boys tried to get to a safe place.
They all went to the hallway to get in safety. He was not able to make it that far. He got to the kitchen counter and the house went up in the air completely. Harold was able to free himself and grab my oldest nephew and throw him to the ground and get him to safety.
Not one piece of the house is left standing here where the foundation was. You can see that the garage with the cars in it was also destroyed and pieces were pushed into the field next door.
Giles says Harold Jackson's wife, Connie, a Calera school custodian, was found under some rubble with her face in a puddle and taken to Baylor Hospital in Dallas in critical condition.
Right now it's a touch and go situation. We're just waiting. We just pray she's going to be okay.
Next door, Wayne Pate surveys the damage of his daughter's trailer, which was also blown clear off the foundation. He says she heard about the bad weather and was inside his brick house when the storm hit and threw a branch right through the front window.
Every time there's a storm coming up, she comes over and stays at our house, and because she's afraid of that trailer. Yeah, that was a good thing.
In Bryan County, I'm Alex Belser reporting.
Daughter would like to say,
if there's a speed limit sign but you can't see it, should you still get a ticket? Driver James Lawrence says no.
I just don't want to pay a ticket I don't believe I deserve.
Lawrence says he was on cruise control heading down Highway 69 at night when a Bell's cop pulled him over and clocked him going 76 in a 65-mile-an-hour zone. But he says he never saw this sign.
It's covered up, you can't see the speed limit. I don't think they can enforce a ticket. You can't see it until you're right up on it, and when you're going 70 miles an hour, it passes by you real quick, especially at nighttime.
Lawrence says he told the cop about the tree covering the sign, but the officer still wrote him a ticket. Then he took a picture of it to bring to court, but the judge wasn't persuaded either.
She said, well, you still were speeding even if you were going through the county at At your speed, you're still speeding.
Because you can still see the speed limit sign, although you pass the branch, you can still see the speed limit sign.
Police say Lawrence should have been paying closer attention and that it's up to the state to take care of speed limit signs.
The sign was still maintained, it's just the tree stuck out a little bit further than usual.
They say drivers who aren't paying close attention to the road are more likely to get into an accident. Lawrence says the speed limit part shouldn't be on the right side. The judge changed the ticket to going 76 in a 70, but Lawrence says he's still on the hook for $189. In Bells, I'm Alex Belser reporting.